Once everyone, welcome back. We are live. Looking forward to do this review today. I'm good here. So make sure the chat is good. So let me know in the chat that you can hear this fine, and we'll be able to start for this review pretty soon. Just gonna wait maybe a minute or so for people to come in and make sure the sound is good, and then we'll be going to this weekly review. Some pairs that I want to go through. I want to explain my bad trading week last week and give you some kind of thoughts on how to perform this week better in trading. So hope that you will like it. I'm sure you will get a lot of value with this, and looking forward to deliver that for sure. So if you wonder where I'm right now, I'm in the Hilton Hotel in Bangkok. Decided to take a quick break of my apartment and do a quick vacation here, kind of work at the same time. So I have my setup here that's pretty cool, pretty well done. And I'm gonna be trading this week, of course, looking at the markets as always, and working on a bunch of different projects, which are pretty cool. So let me know in the chat that you can hear this fine, everything is good, and we'll be able to start with this weekly review or weekly Forex outlook and cryptos as well right away. Awesome. So what I want to show you today first is it starts with the pair that we are going to look at. I always filter the pairs that I look at so you don't have to see all of them. Some are kind of boring, like this one here. Eurocad is boring. ADGY is boring. I actually switching a resistance area over here, but we're still far from it, so we'll skip that. Aod Usd is where I got crushed. Well, when I say crush, is not really crushed like you would think as a beginner, like not like you blew up your account or whatever. I had basically 3 losing trades last week. Yeah, so I'm talking only about Forex. Cryptos is a different thing, which we'll cover pretty soon. But Forex had 3 losers, and that's it. So it's a 3% loss, and I'll show you every trade that I took last week and why I took them, and you'll be able to see how that worked out for me last week. Again, I want you to hear what I do with transparency and kind of get you through the setups, and hope you can get some benefit from it. Of course, some people will complain, but that's fine. Cool. So Aod USD is a pair that's been at the resistance for a long time. Now you see we had this pattern here, the head and shoulder pattern that didn't complete yet. So I don't look at them myself. I'll just put this here on the screen to show you. We can just delete that. That's all fine. What I cared about in this pair, and I have this thing. Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe I can do this over here. Let me just try something. I had this nice plugin to draw on my screen without kind of killing my charts. Let me see if I can find it again. Quite annoying. Alright, perfect, got it. Awesome. That's gonna be helpful. Let's see if that opens. It's gonna take some time. Yeah, and let me know in the chat if you have any question or everything is good. I'm happy to answer your questions, of course. If you have any issue, anything you want me to cover, some charts you want me to look at, I'm happy to do that, of course. And awesome. So cool. So yeah, so this pair here, Aod USD, reaching this resistance area over there. I took some trades here. I had one trade here the week before. That was a break even. So not good, not bad. It's alright. It's pretty good. Here we had this second trade, which I'll show you in a minute, to set up on the 1 hour chart. But this trade ended up being a loss, so a full loss here at minus 1%. And that was it for this pair overall. So let me just show you here what it looked like. And let's just do that. Cool. On the 1 hour chart. So it was basically what I'm trading here in this particular scenario is a pullback of a hit to the resistance area. So we had price reach the resistance area here at 78 or so, 178. Came back down. Dollars again. Came back down over here. Did a pullback, but this to me looked okay, not amazing. Actually, I probably missed this. This was in my nighttime. And then we had price go even further, which is good. Then price went for a second pullback, a smaller one, but that's a good sign when you are starting a trend. So we had this bearish candle over here until below the low. Stop loss at 50 pip on this strategy. It's a fixed 50 pip stop loss. And you are to risk targeting the other zone or 200 pip. So it was about 200 pip on this pair. And price just went up. Then we had this news announcement. Actually, no, never mind. So price went up. Then we had this news announcement. We had this news announcement over here. Price crashed, or over there. And yeah, price crashed 2 times, one of my favorite 2 times, then went back up and got close at a full loss. So that was a loss. That's one that I took this past week. Nothing wrong with that. Price is still in a resistance area over here, so I'm still looking for selling trades. But if I'm being stepped out too often, I'll probably stop trading these bearish trades. So at some point you gotta kind of cut them, because otherwise you could trade all along the way, and you stop all the time if it's gonna break out. So that's the point. So you trade the first few. Like now it's been 2 trades. I'll take maybe a 3rd trade if I can, but then I'll probably be out of this pair after and wait for the pair to do something more interesting. Cool. So Euro AOD is a pair that I like to trade, and this one here is, so we talked about the fact that price was at a resistance last week. Now price really went back down quite a bit more. We didn't have any setup here with the bonus band on this pair. I don't think so. Actually, we have, no, that's one before. So we didn't have any setup with the bonus band over here, but for pullbacks, that would have been good. I didn't trade this pair this past week. I was really busy, so I didn't see any setups on this. And the pullbacks here were kind of really short, so not the ideal case. But now what we can do is we can just look for how the trend will form out. And if you would like to day trade, then that's really good, because we can go on the lower time frames to look for pullbacks. So the forward chart here is pretty good. See, we have this resistance over here, over there, and you can look for price to hit these levels over here. Oh, that's big. Jesus Christ. Let's make this a bit better. Cool. Price to hit this resistance over there with these pullbacks, and that's cool. So price could go back there. You could look for bearish trades, and that could be a really good place to trade on this pair. And again, if price falls back down more, you have this level over here, and you could wait for price to do some pullbacks there, and then trade in that direction. So that looks pretty cool. We just have to wait on this pair a little bit more. Now Eurocad is doing something similar, actually at a support area, and what we look for is just to bounce on this pair. So we didn't have any trade last week, but we're waiting for a trade on this pair. So price is making a nice bullish candle last week at the support. This is 1.47 or so. Price went in our favor, and a little bit, but we didn't have any setup there. See, we went there many times in the past over here before, and I was we just wait for price to make a nice setup there, or go more in our favor and make a nice pullback, and then we can enter there. So on the 1 hour chart, that would look like something like we had this pullback over here. Actually, this could be a nice setup right there. Yeah, I missed that because I was really busy today, which is normal. But what we look for my kind of setup that I trade with this pullback thing is you look for price to hit this support area over there, which it kind of did over here and over here. So we have 2 instances. Then we want to have price going in our favor, so showing us a bullish move on this pair because it's a support. Then we want to have a pullback, because we're not going to turn here at the high. It's too risky. We want to have a pullback, which we had over here, and now we don't want to have some bullish confluence to enter this trade. Now this bar here is pretty bullish to me, and this bar here as well. So these are kind of like a big candlestick, and here we have kind of a pin bar, whatever that is. So that's pretty good. Now notice that these names of patterns don't really matter. What we care about here is really the picture of where the buyers are, where the sellers are, and who's in control. And here we can see the buyers are in control. So probably I'll take a trade on this. Maybe wait for this move here to finish. See, we have a bearish move, and then find a nice bullish setup over here to enter after. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's nice. I'll mark this down and do it after. Cool. Okay, next pair is Euro USD. Again, another loss I had this past week is on this pair. So that's the second of 3 losses I had the past week on Forex. And basically what we want to have here is we are looking for a bearish move. Okay. Personally, for me, Euro USD is not the pair that I like to trade. It's really bad with one of my strategy. Actually, with the bonus band, I don't trade it at all. It's a pair that I skip completely. But I do trade it with this pullback strategy here that I trade manually. And so, yeah, price just shoot up right away. We had this nice trade on a 1 hour chart, and price just kind of shoot right away. So we had this move here, a bit of consolidation, so not super in favor of any direction, but that was pretty good. So like we had before, we had this move here into the resistance area. Price went back down, pull back, came back down, pull back. We went over here around this level, and then prices shoot back up again. So that's fine. That's part of life, and it was all right. Interesting, the chat is empty. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer your questions in the chat. Just make sure you comment there, and I'll be looking at your questions pretty soon. Actually, yeah, the chat is really empty. Interesting. Cool. So yeah, JPCAD is the next pair I want to look at. Again, this pair is reaching a resistance area at 1.72. We talked about this last week again. Price was not far from it, and now price is getting back there. So let me just go on the other chart. We have the line. So yeah, this thing over here. So price is in a pretty strong kind of sideways market if you look at the big picture here, but more like a downtrend if you look at this part over here. And yeah, the price is looking to bounce with this level here, and we're looking for a bearish trade on this pair. It sounds pretty good to me. So far we didn't have any trade on this pair because we are still bullish and not really in the zone yet on this 1.72 area. Next is USD, another losing trade I had last week. I actually took a trade on this before, and it was a good trade. Now this one was a losing trade before. And so what that happens here is, again, price was hitting a resistance area. Notice how these are all correlated. So not the best to trade, but that's all right. Price hitting this resistance area over here. And we had this nice setup on the 1 hour chart. Again, a same kind of similar pullback. And just price just stayed there and then went back up again after. So that's fine. We are now breaking the resistance area, the resistance over here, so that's going to turn into a support. What I'll do is I'll move this over here, and I'll be looking for bullish trades on this zone, or around this zone, around the 1.39 or something, or yeah, 38, 39 zone. Okay, so really cool place to look now for a pullback on this pair, to the upside, of course. All right, NZD CAD doing nothing, perfect, like always. USD CAD coming back to support. Again, this was the same thing last week. We are coming back to here, 1.21 or so, 1.22. And we want to have a nice bullish setup here to enter in the market. So far, we are nothing the past week. And we're going to wait for a nice bullish trade to enter. So either here the reversal at the support zone or a pullback on that later. But that's a really major zone because we've been there before many times. We've been here back in 2017, 2018, so pretty far back, but that's a pretty cool zone. All right, ESGPY is over here in between zones. Actually, we reached the resistance area over there. I didn't take a trade on this last week, although we had a really cool setup here. Actually, it's a trade that probably my algo took that I didn't have a look at. So how this works is it's a Bollinger Band reversal strategy. I'll just show you over here the Bollinger Band. We are hitting a resistance area. And of course, we always want to have some buffer with the zones over here. And so what we do is we look for some bearish trades on lower time frames on this here 110 resistance area. So if you go here on the forward chart, actually, you see that price breaks the Bollinger Band over here. And then this is also the Bollinger Band. That's a good sign, meaning that price is at an extreme. Price makes then this engulfing candle, which is my trigger setup. We enter below the low, stop loss will be on the high, and we're at risk of, in that case, 1 to 1. So 1 to 1 is around, let's just say here, and then 3 to 1. Maybe a bit more, it's fine. 3 to 1 is like down there or something. So that's our trade for this pair. We will still be in a position right now on this pair, and price is in our favor, so that's pretty good. Again, when price reaches your first take profit, you can move your stop loss to break even if you want. I don't do that myself, but you can do it if you want. And that would have been actually a 0.5% or 0.5 hour trade in that case. Okay, USD Singapore dollar doing the same thing as USD CAD, reaching support at, in that case, 1.32. So we're gonna have to wait for bullish setup here. And gold is, we discussed about this level last week, the 1,780 or so, and price just kind of stayed there, give us a nice opportunity here for a breakout. I didn't trade the breakout on this. I don't trade breakouts much myself right now, but this could be a good place for a breakout. And price now is trending way above that, so at least $100 above that. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now let's have a look at cryptos over here. Cryptos are interesting this week because they've been doing a lot of big trends. If you want to trade trends right now, don't trade Forex. You're gonna have a really hard time. But cryptos are much better for that. So here we have Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash has been going up and up and up and up as we go. Just gonna take my graph here. I said you could, if you were to trade this, take some profits over here at this level, and then you can keep part of them for the long term, for further. And what happened is we had price reach this level. You could take some profit here, but then price almost kind of double after. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's nice. Bitcoin normal is here. Was the support before? 48,000, and now went back up. That's good. Again, here's the zone where you want to take some profits. Right, if you're gonna trade this, it's something like around here. I would take maybe half of the profit if you want on your trade, or it could be more, could be less. That's fine. That's up to you. And then just keep going after with the part of your position, of course. Ethereum, the same thing, is in a straight kind of rocket phase, so that's good. Nothing you can do there, except maybe you enter on low time frame when you day trade. You enter on pullbacks, would be good to do. Let's just see how many pullback we had on this in the past week. Pretty good. See, after this big trend starts over here, you have all these pullbacks there, and you can even trade breakouts here. You've got this one, and you can just like buy the pullback on that kind of pair. That's good. Stellar is in an uptrend again. Like I said, the zone take profit was around here, 0.70 or so, and now we are way beyond that. So that's good. Perfect. Litecoin is doing the same thing, so it's good too. I began tracking Dash. Dash is doing the same thing as the other cryptos. Of course, these are all correlated. And if you wonder about what you should trade, cryptos or Forex, check out my video that I've posted last week about cryptos versus Forex. It's going to be linked here in the corner on the top of the video. And you can just watch this. I'm going to give you some insights on what to trade and which one is best for you. Okay, and lastly, Cardano, I think. Yeah, perfect. Cardano is also in a nice place. So beyond this was a resistance, turned into a support now. Again, we can wait for pullbacks to this level there to buy on this pair. This pair, this crypto. Awesome, guys. So no chat, which is kind of curious. I'm wondering if the chat's working fine. If you have any questions, you guys always go in the chat. I'll be happy to help out, give you some insights, and make sure you're having some results. My goal here is to be able to provide you some tips and resources on a daily basis. I'll try to post videos this week. I have one prepared coming out in a few days. We also have an interview coming up tomorrow. So check those out. Here are some more videos you can watch on the screen, and I'll catch you here pretty soon. Ciao.